We got the X-Men, the non-live best men. Who fucking with them cats lies the question. Here's the thing, y'all know about the trouble they bring.
A DJ, for the most part, is one who plays records at social functions.
I'm a turntablist, that's right.
The turntablist is the guide or conductor.
Turntablist just makes its own music out of a song that's already on vinyl.
A turntablist takes those same records that you would play at parties and rearranges them as if he was a human sampler.
We choose to call ourselves turntablists because we are.
We use the turntables as instruments. We don't just put on a record and let it play and grab the mic and be like, say ho.
He takes vinyl and rearranges all the sounds and words and music that's recorded on vinyl and makes it sound the way he would want them to sound or the way he hears them in his head.
It could be a kick, snare, hi-hat, and we can make that into our own beat, you know?
This is a kick snare, boom, right? This is a boom, and this is a snare, which is a bat. So now you have your drums, boom, boom, bat, or maybe just one. You take a record with a kick and a snare, now you got boom, boom, bat, boom, 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 bat, boom. You're doing drums.
We might do one pattern for 8 bars and do another for 8 bars, and it's all our song. It's somebody else's record. Just like if you pick up a horn, it has a sound that it's going to make, but you have to blow the notes into it.
Taking 2 records and recreating a whole new beat out of them, like you would with a sampler. But instead, he'd be using his hands.
You could be anything you want in the turntable. You could be a piano player, you could be a bass player, you could be a horn player. Rob grabs a bass on the turntable and starts manipulating the bass, then he's an upright bass player. Raider rocks some drums, he'll be a drummer.
You could just do anything to a turntable. There's no limit. It's like pretty much infinity.
Rock Raider, Mr. Sinister, Total Eclipse, Bob Swift. We got the X-Men.
The X-Men came together in 1989.
When we first started, it was just a few of us. It was me, Steve D, Johnny Cash, and Sean C.
Those are the original members, and they have formed a crew to battle Superman.
There was like this big DJ crew called the Supermen, and they basically like ran things on the DJing circuit.
We just wanted to come up with a group of DJs to go up against the Supermen. We felt that they were whack and we were better.
And that's where the name X-Men was born, because they were called the Supermen. And they felt back then that the X-Men was like a good contrast to their name. So that's how it all started. But a battle never took place with the Supermen. And as a result, they just started to like redefine their goals, and they started to get into competitions and compete and get a name that way. And the more competitions they got into, the more members they met along the way, like myself and Mr. Sinister and Total Eclipse, and here we are today.
Being in a band just helps me out musically. I'm more musically inclined.
Practicing with a band is different because you all have to work together. You have to work together as a unit. Everybody thinks is one.
When you're by yourself, you can't draw from anyone else's energy.
By myself, I'm more just hip-hop, like battle-oriented.
I may get an idea from watching Raider practice one day, then I may get an idea from watching Sinister practice one day, and I could put those 2 ideas together and formulate a whole new idea.
It's cool. It's like I always have people there to inspire me. There are people there to practice with me that I don't have to worry about, well, if I do this, you might fight and go do it somewhere else and get credit.
When you're in a group, you know, you're dealing with different personalities, different approaches, so you get to incorporate all those different personalities and approaches into what you want to do, and you apply them to the turntable.
We just wanted to do something different with turntables, no rules, you know. Just something that's hip-hop.
Turntables, team routines, individual routines, anything that has to do with the turntable.
On this album, we're going to show you a lot of parts of our personalities as musicians that the public hasn't been aware of.
Honestly, I wanted to be a singer like my father, but I found out that I didn't have a voice like him, so I knew I had some kind of musical talent because I was heavily inspired by music. And then, when the first time I ever heard a DJ scratching, that just attracted me.
Hip-hop was started by a DJ named Kool Herc.
We're musicians, you know, we're not just, you know, people that play records. We're musicians with, you know what I mean, the turntables.
It was what he did with turntables at parties that spawned the whole hip-hop movement.
Now it's like so set, like you rhyme 16, you do this and you do that. We just wanted to break all those rules and show people that even breaking rules, we can still, you know, come out with proper hip-hop.
I think the name change symbolizes that, the fact that on this album we're going to show you a lot of parts of our personalities as musicians that the public hasn't been aware of yet.
We just hope that people would appreciate it for what it is, open their minds to this sort of thing, because a lot of people are not, they're there, but they're not fully there.